By order of the Emperor of Nilfgaard, for the murder of the wounded, looting, cannibalism, you are hereby sentenced to death by hanging or torment.
Don't meddle. Take the reward and let's go.
Help me!
Knew you witches wouldn't scorn imperial gold. Tough hunt.
Tougher than yours, that's certain. Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference.
Come fit me!
Bring her down. Do it my way. Like that, you bitch. Get the hammer. Kick her teeth in.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
Just make it quick, Geralt.
What the?
Close your eyes.
Hit him. What are you doing?
Killing monsters.
Anything to say for yourself, young lady?
I'm very sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zerrikania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
So you did the reading. Why not admit it right off?
Never pounce on an advantage as soon as it appears. Wait till it stands to have maximum effect. Uncle Vesemir's words.
Well, you're a quick study. Quick, but mischievous. War's not exactly going our way.
We have a side.
The Northern Realms.
Radovid's realms, don't you mean? Temeria and Edirn are no more.
Radovid's pledged to restore the old borders as soon as he wins the war.
Believe that?
Gotta believe something. That's what keeps us going.
Whoa there! Not a place I'd ever expect to find a scholar. Take it you're fleeing the war?
Quite the opposite. Chasing it. I'm headed for the front.
Tired of life?
I seek knowledge, which I value more than life itself. I've a thirst no dusty old tomes can quench. I wish to see the Nilfgaardian invasion with my own eyes, understand it, and record it all in my chronicle, my magnum opus.
Interesting. We need somebody to describe war, what it's really like. Not colorful banners and generals making moving speeches, but rape, violence, and thoughtless cruelty.
Ah, I see you lack the polish of the Academy. Rape and cruelty are details of no import to the war's course. Trinkets on the garment of conflict, one might say.
Tell that to the people whose houses burned down.
Whoa!
You, Mislov?
Shh. Hear that?
Wolves? No. Wild dogs.
Yes. More dangerous than wolves.
Dogs more dangerous than wolves? Don't think so.
It's the truth. Know why?
No, but I guess you're about to tell me.
Wolves hunt to fill their bellies. Wild dogs kill for sport.
Just like humans.
Aye. They've learned much from us. Why not cruelty too?
Griffin do that to her?
Delina. Yes. Attacked her at night. She was walking in the woods.
At night? Through the woods? In wartime?
Meeting a boy. The young, you know, do foolish things for love. Wounds are healing, but she will die. Blood's pooling in the skull. Nothing my bruise can do to help.
I've agreed to kill the Griffin. No more victims after I do.
There will be, of course. With the Griffin gone, others will kill in its stead. Monsters or men.
So what do you think I should do?
Ply your trade. But don't think you can change anything.
With no means to earning livelihood. Look! The corpse light is in this eyes. This is magic that's made of modern bull of a man. The horse Why do you recommend yes, steal them! And subject them to trial and torture till the babes transform into beasts wretched as themselves.
They stealing our work, those Temerians.
Got the courage to repeat that slander to my face?
Readily. You are a mutant, a freak, a useless relic of a bygone age that should be burned like a withered branch.
How many people's lives have you saved? From Bruxay? From Leshens?
That has no bearing.
Asked you a question. How many? There's something to think about, folks.
Preacher's fierce in the mouth. Put holler at him and his tail slinks between his legs. Come on, people.
Nothing doing. Sammy Reeks, man.
Thank you, Wanderer. I shall say a prayer for you at my pilgrimage's end.
Nice gesture, thanks. Now, where's your pilgrimage taking you?
To the four faces of Hendel, raised in honor of our great hero.
I've heard the legends of Hemdall, a great warrior and first father of the Isles.
'Tis true. And before the advent of Ted Dare, the final age, he shall return, walk amidst us, and face the evil powers, demons, and spectres of chaos. The golden cockerel Camby will crow to warn Hemdall of the coming of the Nargle Fair, bringing the army of darkness. A battle will ensue, Ragnarok, and Hemdall will clash with the forces of the dark.
Let's hope he wins.
It'll make no difference. The prophecy is clear. After Ragnarok, the world will end.
Prophecies can be tricky that way, and there's never an ending that's not also a new beginning, a fresh start.
Let us hope you're right, Wanderer. Let us hope you're right.
Told him to patch the roof. The house will be full of puddles again.
How may I assist you?
Went to Undvik a while ago. Found these.
Well, goose kick me. These look like the real thing.
Because they are. Look at the markings. Authentic. How did you get them?
Long story. Might tell it someday, but right now I need that armor.
Harman ep Grönekan, Lieutenant General of the 2nd Mounted Army.
Welcome to our humble establishment. A true honor to host one of such renown. I've heard the General's a connoisseur and collector of armor.
This is true, and they call you a master of the craft.
All too kind, sir. Truly.
I need a suit of armor. Heavy. Able to withstand piercing projectiles.
Piercing projectiles? Oh, bolts, you mean? That ain't easy. Needs a special alloy, tempering.
The new tools. We can do it. Stoke the fire, I'll ready the rest.
Bold, your worker. You allow her much.
You know how it is, General. Good help's hard to come by. We should go outside. There's business to discuss.
It's always the same. I've had enough.
Enough?
They treat me like I'm nobody. The menial labour. Truth is, the Nilfgaardian, the one Fergus is kissing up to, I'll have to craft his armour. Yours too, for that matter.
So what's Fergus do?
Horseshoes, nails, not much else he can do, seeing as he cocks up simple bungs. But in the end, they call him Master. No one'd ever think I could be a skilled armourer, a human and a woman to boot. A dwarven blacksmith. Oh, that's another story.
If that's the case, stand your ground. Don't let him treat you like this.
I won't. Not anymore. He can craft the Nilfgaardian's armour himself. I'll make another suit, and we'll see which one's better.
Ciri. No, it's impossible. Damn it. Looking to discourage me? Good. Means you're scared. Dijkstra, what are you plotting this time?
What would you say? How many mages did we save altogether?
Dunno. Didn't count. 30, maybe, give or take a few.
And how many would you say remain in the north? How many alchemists, healers, herbalists? 2,000? 3?
Doing a population count? Is that it?
No, I'm concerned. In Novigrad they had us. We were here. But who saved those in Rimba? Banard, Ardcaraig, Gullet? You know damn well that daft bastard Radovid won't rest till he's killed them all. Every last one. Yennefer and Triss included.
Moving as speeches go. Now get to the point. Why are you telling me this?
Because I want you to help me kill Radovid.
You that concerned about the mages of the world? Expect me to believe that?
Actually, yes. But not because I'm sensitive or it gives me a heartache, true. To my mind, this systemic persecution is foremost a symptom of a far more serious problem. A madman rules Redania. I served Vizimir, Radovid's father. Was his head of intelligence for more than 2 decades. Together, we transformed Redania, made it the North's most powerful realm. Any idea what made it strong?
Its armies, I'd wager.
And you'd bloody lose, you idiot. Mass mobilization, inciting peasants to take up their scythes, straighten them. Where's the art in that? Much harder to build a strong state with healthy commerce, manufacturing, solid alliances, progressive science, and fair, independent courts that hand down just judgments. Vizimir and I managed to do just that, through years of fucking hard work. I will not sit on my hands as that little shit squanders that. Radovid the stern, my ass. Radovid the witless, I'd say. Will you help me, Geralt?
I don't kill kings. Just not a regicide. Rumors to the contrary be damned.
I know. I'm merely asking for your aid in organizing the assassination. Someone else will strike the blow.
Dijkstra. Might not have heard this, though I'd find that hard to believe. But Witchers are neutral on principle, so...
Oh, bollocks. That's a convenient excuse you lot try to hide behind every time the temperature rises.
Shit, too damn high.
Not if I give you a boost. Remember? Part of the trials.
A witcher is a lone hunter.
But even a lone hunter can use a helping hand sometimes. Vesemir.
Ready?
Oh, you fat fuck.
1, 2, 3. You're no feather either. Come on, let's go.
Yen's keeping you pretty busy, huh?
Started shouting out orders with just 1 foot out of the teleport. I tried to get a word in edgewise, to which she said...
One should not interrupt a lady.
Exactly. Times like these, I'm glad this ugly mug of mine keeps the women away.
Looks aren't everything. Certainly not to all women.
You're right. But most like a full purse, too. Don't have much to brag about in that domain either.
Well, what is it?
What do you know about this garden?
Let me think. That it's dreadfully overgrown.
Had its history in mind.
They say Freya herself planted it. When the world was young, the goddess strode across Skellige, sowing seeds among the rocks. But Urboros the snake bit a hole in her basket. All her seeds poured from it and landed here. Thus, this garden is bounteous while the rest of Skellige is barren.
You believe that?
Is that a serious question? Of course not. Favorable microclimate for plant life. End of story. Putrefaction set in. But the vocal cords are intact. We might still get something out of him.
Doesn't look like the talkative type.
Anyone can be made to talk. Even a corpse. One must simply know how.
Thought necromancy was strictly forbidden.
So is premarital sex. But I'm not about to be bothered by such foolishness. Do you fancy Scout?
To be honest, I prefer women.
Aye, now I see. The Skald sings true. Love bears many guises.
How do you go from being the Emperor's hostage to being his ally?
One day, the door of my cell opened, and instead of seeing the usual officer, I saw Emir. He promised to release me and grant me free reign of the Imperial Treasury, provided I did what he asked.
He told you about Ciri, and you accepted his offer. Why?
Shared aims make for strange bedfellows. I knew I had to find Ciri before Eredin did, and if any man had the power and the means to help me, it was the Emperor. Besides, once all's said and done, he is her father.
Thank you, Geralt, for this, and for what you said at the port.
I should have said it long ago.
So, what happens now? Afraid it's a bit too early for happily ever after.
We'll get our happy ending one day.
Yes, somewhere, over hill and dale. It's a cruel world we live in. It's hard to make plans. Even harder to invest any faith in them, though you might want to, badly.
You were in an entirely different mood a moment ago.
Hush. The spark expired. Don't worry about me, Geralt. And please, be careful.
Could have used some of that famous biting wit of yours. Where'd it disappear to? I mean, you were meek as a novice at Aretusa called into the Dean's office.
I merely know when I can indulge my pride and when I must swallow it.
You think universals exist as real and distinct entities, or only as mental constructs? Mm-hmm. So do I. You got trust issues with us?
No. Actually, I fear you don't trust me. So I'd rather keep certain things secret, for the time being.
Pretty tortured logic.
It may seem that way now, but you'll understand in time.
Don't blame yourself. No Witcher's ever died in his own bed.
You don't know how it is to see someone you love die. Because of you. For you.
We all knew what we were signing up for.
Yes. And you saved me. For how long? A week? A month?
We'll hide you. Cover your tracks.
No. I will flee no more.
Vathael. For those who remain,
Death should never take precedence over life. Thank you.
Please. She was my ward, too. And the old should only ever stick around to help the young. You know, this hardly ends your struggle.
I know.
Whatever you aim to do now, remember you'll find souls willing to aid you in Skellige. Myself, Frach, his children.
Don't really know what I'll do next.
When doubts plague your mind, follow your instincts. Should they steer you wrong and land you in muck, you'll land at peace with yourself. And that's most important.
Good advice.
Bah, of course it is. I'm a hierophant, aren't I? I must pick a course for home soon. Take care of yourself, and Siri.
Thanks again for everything.
It's not working, don't you see?
Discouraged after a mere 8 attempts? Sierra,
How many times must I try?
as many as it takes.
But I'm not getting anywhere.
We shall return to this later.
Didn't make it far first time out on the gauntlet either.
Geralt, please, not now. By comparison, the gauntlet was a walk in the park. But that's not the point.
What is?
Avalok says nothing will come of this until I stop thinking about the battle. But at the moment, I find it impossible to fill my head with kittens and vanilla pudding. Tell me, how do you do it?
What?
Always manage to pull yourself together. Focus. No matter what's happening.
There's a certain ancient method. Vesemir taught it to me, and Barman taught it to him.
Will you take me into the mountains and make me drink hemlock?
The Skellige druids have used it for centuries. It always works.
Hey! You'll regret that.
Hey, that's cheating.
Win.
We'll see about that.
Come and get me.
Good shot.
Done playing nice.
You'll regret that. Good shot.
Why does the rash you?
You'll regret that. Good shot.
You were right. That really works. Thanks.
Glad to be of service. So what now?
I'll go see where our dearest sage is. We did it.
Barely. How'd it go down there?
I slew only 2 of the crones. The third fled, with Vesemir's medallion. My sole memento.
You avenged Vesemir.
Avalarg claims vengeance is only ever satisfying when served cold. He's wrong. Now to find Eredin and kill him. Then non-humans. Thought it was mages the hunters and the temple guard were after.
Mages left. Hunters needed a new quarry. Hatred and prejudice will never be eradicated, and witch hunts will never be about witches. To have a scapegoat, that's the key. Humans always fear the alien, the odd. Once the mages had left Novigrad, folk turned their anger against the other races. And as they have for ages, branded their neighbors their greatest foes. Must be the place.
You can come out. I've seen your plan. Besides, I can hear you. One of you's wheezing like a broken bellows. Another's panting frantically like a deer caught in a trap. And the third should really take something for that throat. I'd try thyme extract. Someone care to explain what's going on here?
What's going on is that you're down there and we're up here.
That's a situation I can fix quickly.
Witchy thingy no dum-dum. The pounding witchy thingy swoop man.
That's right! We've caught you! You're at our mercy now, and we're none too merciful!
Oh, really? Fact is, I could just turn around and...
Bloody town! Witchy thingy dum-dum shotkin. No swoop man. I wonder why he's not already in the shrimp. You were to kill him.
What? We never said nothing about killing.
Not a thing. We were just supposed to scare him.
So witchy thingy us scary thingies. Make him no touch us. I believe you misunderstood. He's a murderer, like the rest of them. Like the one who killed my Adalia.
Awful sorry about your wench. We all are.
A Doppler.
But this Witcher didn't kill her. And we can't very well punish him for another's crime.
He has much to answer for, too. I heard he killed a Korred in Tucson.
But he spared a golden dragon.
So what? What about Verena? The Bruxa with the fondness for blue roses from the Zaire. He showed her no mercy.
Irina killed many an innocent. I had to do something, but I've helped monsters aplenty.
Yes? Who?
Some trolls live in a mountain pass near Kaer Morhen. Know them? Poldie must. Looks like their brother. Last time I was there, they were begging for a beating. My friend wanted to kill them. I talked him out of it.
Don't make me laugh. That's not nearly enough.
There's this Sylvan in Velen. You gotta know him. I had a choice. Kill him and collect a reward from the local peasants, or talk it out with him. I chose the latter.
Sylvans are nasty schemers, but it was nice of you to spare him. You see? He's not that bad. We should let him go.
Let him go? No! So he can track us down and butcher us.
I won't hurt you. I don't kill sentient creatures.
You lie. Every butcher is a murderer.
I kill monsters, true. It's my job. But only when they threaten humans.
You hate us! Hate us all!
Humans hate you all. Because they don't know you. Don't know which of you are dangerous and which want to live in peace. Only Witchers stand between you and humans. We know both worlds. Protect both. We kill dangerous monsters, so the thinking ones can live in peace.
So you say now, as you stand there, scared. You know we have the upper hand.
You don't. Could have killed you all long ago if I'd wanted to.
I believe him. We should let him be.
I'm all for it. To my thinking, he's telling the truth.
Let witchy thingy go. Fools! Gullible as newborns. A just Witcher. A kind Witcher. A lying Witcher! He feigns it all! All humans lie!
Let it rest. This is not the way. You shan't bring Adalia back.
Ah! Stay here. I'll finish this alone.
Monsters are like men. Some are good, some are bad, and still others simply lost. That's a right shame. He was different once. Should never have let him talk us into this. Here, a little something from us, so you'll remember not all monsters are dangerous.
Thanks.
I'm a wild heart. Care to thank me? Wolfie, what's that?
It's a material world.
Buy you a drink?
I'm afraid the dishwater's as good as it gets in this establishment. Imlerith, was that your idea or Ciri's?
Spare me your lecture about responsibility.
I was actually going to recite an anthem praising your glory, but if you're not in the mood...
I thought you'd be angry.
Angry? Why? Because you supported Ciri in her decision? Or because you fought by her side and won?
What if we'd lost?
We wouldn't be having this conversation. And the female part of the continent's population would be drowning in tears. You won. No point bothering with what-ifs.
What is this place?
A very old world, thoroughly raped and destroyed.
Anything live here?
Mainly desert creatures, able to survive months on end without water. Oh, and large sand crabs beneath the surface. We must be careful they don't sense us.
And before? Were there any people? Or elves?
Do you believe humanoids have a monopoly on destroying worlds?
So what did live here? Sentient monsters of some sort?
Look at those cliffs. Remind you of anything?
Look a bit like the bed of a giant river.
Or the bottom of the sea?
Mean there were water creatures here once?
No creatures. Merely a sea.
Trying to say that
There are many different worlds and even more forms of life. Many of them intelligent, much more so in fact than you humans. But as it turns out, not even that could stop them from exhausting all the resources of their world. To the last drop.
going after Gels is proving quite a trek, but I still don't know why he's so important.
Eredin differs from the king he killed. Power for its own sake interests him. He has little patience for bureaucracy. He spends most of his time atop his steed, leading the Red Riders. So what does he need in the capital? A good viceroy. Gels is an excellent administrator and an even better plotter. He's the most dangerous individual amongst the NL.
He got any weaknesses?
Yes. He's righteous.
Charming world you and El have got. Could easily fall in love with the place. Tell me, how do you do it? Sit around playing flute, painting rutting unicorns in gorgeous landscapes, building ornately sculpted towers? And then you murder us, without batting an eye, without a hint of guilt. How?
Do you humans feel guilt when you murder Enshe elves? Or dwarves? Or dryads? We are the same. Simply because we both firmly believe others are inferior.
Got a minute?
Of course.
Once you'd left Yen and me on the Isle of Avalon, what happened to you? What did you do?
I traveled through time, space, different worlds. I saw houses of glass, ran with unicorns at the world's end. Even lived in an undersea kingdom for a time.
Freedom. Always had a taste for it.
I still do.
So why'd you return?
It was too much. I almost drowned in it. When everything is possible, it quickly becomes a lot less alluring.
You're a long way from Ophir.
A long way, and with dangers fraught. But in our homeland, they say, in risk there is honor.
Got a ring to it. Not true in my experience, though. Faced plenty of risks. Honor, not so much.
Because risk issues from intent. Important is this intent. The long passage I brave to admire the unknown and bring glory to myself and my liege. The world we must explore, virgin lands discover, new knowledge garner among our brothers than to spread. For is there in life a beauty greater than to admire the new, to stand in awe of the never-ending creation of the world?
That mean I've landed in a camp of explorers and philosophers?
Indeed. Your customs we come to observe, knowledge to exchange, and goods, naturally, to trade.
Your homeland. Be glad to hear some tales about it if you've got the time.
If time you have. For of my home I could speak until your ears withered, and your legs failed you. What here they call Ophir, in truth, is many diverse polities and peoples. A land it is of vast steppes, mountains forbidding, lakes clear as crystal, and wild lands untouched. A land of fallen empires, kingdoms at their peak, and tribes that know no monarchs, yet remember in myth a time when the world was young.
You call any of these lands home?
Yes, a town with towers to make Nilfgaard weep with envy. Of philosophers, doctors, mathematicians, and mages an enclave. But about these last you should, my friend, interrogate, for one among them is he, a runewright.
I'll make it a point to talk to him. Quite the mount you've got.
Ah, yes. A loyal friend I have in Babietza, and she is wiser than many a man. Countless races we have won together.
So, an explorer and a jockey in one.
From where I come, small children ride, and not a gathering is by a horse race not crowned.
Heard a lot of good things about Ophiri mares. Their speed. Care to race?
Swift as the western winds are our mounts. To prove this would be an honor, so race we must.
Go, go. Come on.
Be swift. I will see you at full speed. Take your mount to her limits. Be swift. I will see you at full speed. Take your mouth to her limits.
Ophiri mares may be swift as the wind. Not quite as fast as my roach, though.
I congratulate you. A saddle for your mount, your reward. A contest to commemorate. It will make you a rider even swifter.
Thanks. Like your new gear, Roach?
Ha! Much may be said of a man by how he treats his horse. Our myths tell of a time when love brought together the skies and the steppe, and from their union was born the first mare. Weak were the creatures called men. They fell prey to countless dangers. The mare nursed them. Her milk fed them. Strong they grew, and she let them saddle her. Warriors they became, and gave fight to their foes. The myths teach us to respect our horses, noblest among all beasts.
Beautiful story. Thanks for that and the race. Take care now.
Go, and in the world glory, its never-ending creation be praised. Farewell.
Greetings.
Greetings, and praise the world in its never-ending creation.
Don't take this the wrong way, but honestly, world doesn't deserve much praise. Never seen this side of you.
What side is that?
How do I put this? Your romantic side? Used to seeing you surrounded by bandages and medicine vials, often covered in blood.
Well, that's because you usually come round while I'm at work. Off duty now. Waiting for you, weaving a garland for the wedding.
Nimble hands you got there.
I should hope so. I'm a surgeon.
Think I prefer you using them this way.
Less blood?
More beauty.
There's a beauty to surgery, I assure you.
May they draw and quarter me if I've ever seen a lovelier lass.
Nothing left of you to draw and quarter, alas.
Doe eyes, a swan's soft supple neck, and a waist so slim you could grip it one-handed.
You're actually quite amusing this way.
Be assured, you'll like me even better when you come to know me more intimately.
How intimately?
Enough to get a sense of my assets, my dear. Trust me, they're nothing to scoff at.
May I please speak to Geralt for a moment?
Whatever for. This evening is about my pleasure, not his.
Just for a moment, then you can jump right back in.
Be quick. I'll not stand here doing naught. I'm to enjoy myself.
Geralt, I'm about to introduce you to the newlyweds. Please make sure your friend doesn't embarrass me.
I can't make him do anything. All that nonsense is his. I feel like an ass saying it.
I liked some of that nonsense.
What, for example?
It would do you good to be more relaxed sometimes.
Relaxed? So you think I'm uptight?
What I mean is, it would be nice from time to time if you could sit back and enjoy life, instead of going around solving everyone's problems.
But what does... I don't understand.
Of course you don't. You're as dense as year-old hardtack. Luckily, you've got me.
We'll talk later. Let's go to this wedding. The sooner the ghost has his fun, the sooner this'll be over.
Finally, something that's not utter tripe. We shall dance till the break of dawn.
You get till midnight and not a second longer.
That's not enough. I shan't even get properly soused by midnight, let alone...
Make an effort. I'm sure you'll manage. You get to frolic and carouse till midnight, that's our deal. Then there's the capping, then you go back where you came from.
So be it.
This way, my strawberry. The vault. What's in there for you?
Something that was stolen from me.
Ought to go to the city watch, tell them a crime's been committed, not organize a heist.
I've tried. Repeatedly.
I see. Cheated by the system, wronged by the world. Doesn't matter. What did they take?
List to take a good while. So I'd rather change the subject. You in or not?
I'm not a thief.
It's opportunity makes the thief, Witcher. I speak from experience.
Talk. Must have made quite a few enemies along the way. Maybe not today and not tomorrow, but someday, someone will find a way to take you down.
And that should trouble me why? I feel no fear, no regrets. The wise men of Oxenfurt claim there are no gods. After death, there is only the void. I've known this void already. Death holds no surprises.
Fulfilled 2 of your wishes. Time I learned the 3rd.
Confident, aren't you? Proud, sure of your strengths. Fearless.
3rd task, if you don't mind.
Mutations. They stripped you of emotion. Tell me, have you ever loved? I mean, truly loved?
In no mood for a heart-to-heart. I'm to do something for you. Tell me what it is.
A true professional, eh? Know what I think? I think you only feign the cold killer. When in fact you seek new and ever stronger sensations, as I do. Seek to prove to yourself that you are still able to feel. That some remnant of humanity remains within you. I'd make a right good Witcher. Problem is, I don't know the road to Kaer Morhen. And I doubt you'd give me a pendant.
Cut the shit, Olgierd. Third wish. Still waiting to hear it. Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. Gotta be her. Damn it.
You wish to see her? Here she is.
A man should frame his wishes carefully. It forestalls disappointment.
This some sick joke. Why didn't you tell me she was dead right away?
You didn't ask.
This place seems suitable.
Yes, she left to paint.
Did Iris von Everett have any last requests? Say how she wanted her remains disposed of?
She feared death, worried none would see to her burial or say a kind word in parting.
Guess I'll be the one to do that. I didn't know Iris von Everett, but the paintings here show amply that she and Olgierd were a loving couple. Iris must have been happy, once. At times, fate muddles our path, and life turns toilsome, hard to bear. Yet all deserve respite and peace in death.
So, any better?
Yeah, thanks. Wine's revived me a bit.
This plonk could revive a corpse. An exquisitely rank vintage. You know what, though? It's good at last to taste something real. So, have at it. Tell me what the blazes just happened. Your brand's gone. Guessing that's a good sign?
First off, you tell me what it's like to have a heart of stone.
It's wonderful at the start. You feel no fear, no angst, but also no concern, no care for anyone, not even those you loved. And gradually, you lose them. Well, you know how it ended.
What about your senses? Taste, smell?
All there. At first, I savoured the world like never before. It was stronger, more clear.
How's that possible?
I did not wish for a heart of stone. That was a mere side effect. I wished to win back Iris's hand and have my fortune restored. And then to live like there was no tomorrow. And thus I lived until I ceased to feel anything at all. What a joy to be done with it. Because I am done, right? Will you tell me what happened?
O'Dim decided to have some fun at my expense. Devised a game I was supposed to lose. Seems he'd forgotten the training you put me through in doing the undoable.
So only to protect myself. In doing so, I put you in harm's way. Forgive me.
Well, don't have to worry about him anymore. You're safe and free.
I thank you. Though I've no notion what to do with this freedom now. Mira took everything. Everything I loved. All I held dear.
Not true. Got your heart back.
A bitter victory. Now at last I sense how much I've lost. I've a heart again. Yet all it feels is grief, sadness, and defeat. My life is a ruin.
You've handled tougher situations. You'll figure this one out. Got a company of faithful comrades waiting. Got a home, your fortune.
No. I cannot live as I did before.
So what'll you do?
I don't know. But one thing's clear. It's time I took fate into my own hands. Lived life anew. And truly, this time.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll never forget what you did for me, Witcher. I have something for you.
Can't accept this.
You can, and must. This sabre's been in my family for generations. Even when I'd lost all else, it remained at my side. Means a great deal to me.
All the more reason why I can't take it.
Do me the honor. This'll mark the start of my new life. And such a weapon could be right useful to you.
Thank you.
Ow!
Sorry.
You needn't be. I thank you again, Geralt. And good luck on the path.
Good luck to you too. I got this, Count. Sure, you can shut this tournament down, but there'll be another, with who knows what new rules. If you don't like them, don't enter. Play somewhere else however you want, but you'll never stop other folk from playing however they like.
Bollocks!
Like my good friend Zoltan Chive says, if one says you're talking bollocks, they could be right, they could be wrong. But if multiples say you're talking bollocks, well, you probably are. So let's take a vote. Who else here thinks I'm full of it?
Art is not life's bread and butter, but its fruit and wine.
Got me curious, gotta admit. You really think the old tales are true?
Taking the weepy, are you? Do you think me balmy?
No, it's just these are dark, grim times. No room for knights pure of heart or happily ever afters. So I don't often run into folk like you.
Yes, true, the times are crud pie. But I see this as all the more reason to remember the tales. My gran would say, if you know not what to do, think to the chessboard knight and noble Alondra, and the path they would choose. She schooled me so thorough in it, I could not do otherwise, even if I wished to. I did not think it would end this way. I hoped we could revive her, but I guess it was not to be.
Happily ever after doesn't often happen in life, sadly.
You did well. Here, your pay. And the book is yours as well.
Thanks. Take care of yourself.
So long, Witcher. I must think, put this straight in my head. Right lucky thing you showed up.
Damn it. Witch freed the ghost from the tree, as promised. Failed to add the spectre'd be insane, full of pain and rage. Possessed the first living creature it ran into. The dog. Dog then killed Jacob. Farewell, chivalrous woodsman. Sorry it ended this way. Life's rarely like a fairy tale. Still, folk have gotta have faith. Believe in something. Marcello Clerici, knight. Died last year. Was more or less the same age as our hermit. Seems his spirit's become a horse-shaped umbra that's tormenting Penastri.
Why are you telling me this? I can read and draw my own conclusions.
Thinking aloud, that's all. Helps me focus.
Geralt! It's the Umbra! Attack!
Let me explain!
Talk, but make it fast. Why are you tormenting the hermit?
She torments me, refuses to forgive me. I'm denied peace in the afterlife, and it's all her doing. Each day I come and beg her for clemency.
Beg her for clemency? You drink her blood, drive her mad with fear.
I don't know how to explain it, but yes, a monstrous force takes me. Though I also know I'll not have peace till the day Penastri forgives me.
You and the hermit, how do you know each other?
We met as babes, grew up side by side. I loved her. Yet she was always sad. Nothing could cheer her. The world terrified her. I thought her gloom came from being poor. So I did my damnedest to take us from our village, make us a better life elsewhere. Became a squire, took her with me to the palace. But Penastri soon learned nobles are no more decent than peasants, not a speck. Once even I'd grown vile to her eyes, she fled the palace and joined the flagellants. I left the court to be near her, yet she cast me off. Said she didn't want to know me. When the whip bearers proved too hard-hearted for her too, she became a hermit. I see it clearly now, though I never understood her while alive. From the grave's dark depth, the living are bright, sharp flares. You see all their thoughts at once. Now I understand why she had to cast me off.
She's full of rage. Probably what turned you into an Umbra. Why take the form of a horse?
A horse? What do you mean? Each day since I died, a power lifts me from my grave and makes me run. Then I return with blood in my mouth. I don't know what this is, how it comes to pass, but I do know the torment will continue until she forgives me. But she sees me as a horse, you say?
Seems so. Same way I saw you. Must have hurt her something awful if she refuses to forgive you, would rather see you suffer. What did you do?
To her? Nothing. But my horse, I flogged it to death. Pinastri, she saw this. Proud stallion, my Blaze. But he was a bucker, and tossed me during a tourney. One I'd wanted to win badly. Pinastri had been so glad they'd let me stand. Me, a peasant's son. I wanted to win it for her. But that horse made me loose. Rage overcame me. I struck and struck until at last he fell. Oh, the regret. I beg you, forgive me. Absolve me in Blaze's very name.
Can't forgive you for that. Not in my power.
But your horse could? Please, I'd do anything. I'm desperate. Help me. Noble mare, forgive me my sin.
Could free his spirit, pardoning him on behalf of his horse. But you shouldn't do it if you don't think he deserves forgiveness.
Did a rotten thing. Got no excuse. Your horse was loyal. Did the best damn job he could. 'Cause that's how we horses are.
True. I know I deserved what befell me.
But we aren't vengeful, don't hold grudges, don't dwell on being left in monster-infested woods. So, in your poor Blaze's name, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. I feel it's incredible. Such relief, such lightness.
All right then. Guess we might as well head back. Penastri's nights ought to be ghost-free from now on. Anything to add, Geralt?
Nope. Let's go see her. Phantom's gone. Shouldn't torment you ever again.
I felt a change. I did. As if I'd been released from a cramped, dank cellar. I had come to believe no one could help me. I'm grateful, Witcher.
Ought to thank my horse, actually. Phantom's departure, mostly Roach's doing.
Then I thank you too, noble creature.
Gotta admit, easy peasy with our powers combined. So, what now? We hit the path? Right to the nearest notice board? Rustle up another contract?
Exactly. Though, effects of the bruise waning. I can feel it. Won't be able to understand you soon.
That's horseshit. I mean, I got so much more I want to tell you, and...
Clever beasts, horses. Farewell, Witcher.
I'm walking on water. Just like...
Like who?
Like a pond skater. Who are you thinking?
No matter. I suppose you thought nothing else in life could surprise you, eh? Wrong.
Hey, happen to know how the hell I can walk on that water?
Naturally, I know. Since time immemorial have I dwelt in solitude on the shore, and I can testify to the extraordinary nature of the lake.
What's so extraordinary about it? I mean, besides the fact that you can walk on its surface.
A sword, most wondrous, lies in its depths. I watch over it. The blade may be grasped solely by one who possesses the 5 chivalric virtues.
Folk call me a lot of things, but virtuous? I don't know.
Yet I do know, for I know who you are. To acquire the sword, you must first convince me you are worthy. The inscriptions on the stones describe the 5 virtues: valor, honor, wisdom, sympathy, and generosity. During your time in Tucson, you can prove these virtues dwell in your heart. In this world, there are many in need. They will help you prove your chivalry. To know more about the 5 chivalric virtues, you must read the inscriptions carved into the stones. The sculptures, they came alive. By what witchcraft?
Dunno. Specialize in killing monsters. Reviving them, not so much.
I may know what happened. The statues, you see, once stood in the palace of one Defethov. I acquired them a month past because perhaps I should start at the beginning. This Defethov was to pay tribute to humans, producing statues of this sort each year. Yet he did so but once, for he perished in the massacre of non-humans at the foot of Mount Gorgon in the year 782. It's fortunate he did too, as Defethov had planned Ludovic's downfall, for he sculpted not statues, but columns that masqueraded as such, columns activated with words said in homage, columns that would have turned the king and his bodyguards into so much colorful confetti.
Typical treachery embodied. Elves. Pshh.
You're no better. Elves were just defending their territory. You humans took it, but you still weren't sated. Had to cut the elves down, every last one.
You? What does that mean? You're a man as we are.
Yeah, in a way. Just ashamed to have to admit it sometimes.
Your words? They're wrong, Witcher. But I'll not let you leave empty-handed. Take this, your reward.
Farewell.
You would do best to leave. Resume your path, master.
Need to speak to the Duchess, urgently.
All right, you scamps. Story's done. Go find your parents.
But the Pamarin, what about the story of Rittik and the dragon?
They're tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
Not always. Could go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Palmer story. Think back. A decent man attracts other good folk, makes friends he can count on. A rogue? Well, he can only count on other rogues. And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
I must agree. Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents. Her Enlightened Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way. Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Close, but not quite. As you'll soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shaelmar? With only some bells on its tail to confuse it, slow it down?
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
Shouldn't torment the beast. How would you like to be dumped in an arena, blindfolded with a string of bells dangling from your ass?
Pity a monster. You, a witcher?
I slay monsters who are a threat to humans. You're out to humiliate one to entertain a crowd. No knight will gain any glory from this. Who's going to fight the beast?
Guillaume, the young man you met.
Yeah. Mentioned he'd promised his heart's captor a monster trophy.
Great love demands great sacrifices.
Let's go.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
It's begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
Got a bad feeling about this. Damn it. We have to help him. Gotta keep it down.
Alas, for Nightling, the beast cleaved its foul girth, let loose a roar, and knocked him to earth. And down came the Witcher in one mighty pound to give fight to the beast. It burst confound. The fate of the beast has been weighed by the gods. Soon the Witchers have triumphed against all odds. How and thus the Witcher's life would snuff. All our hopes alas had turned to dust. Danced and spun, struck the monster right through. jelly. The Shelma lies defeated by Geralt of Rivia, master of the witchering trade. Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
Monster's no threat. No need to kill it.
A victor may always show mercy. It is his right. Long live Geralt the Merciful! Pikeman, see to the beast. So-called witches heartless. This will put the light in her.
Peristysomax upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide, Orchard. Content you share my love for animals.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
I suppose I dabble in my share of things. Wine, nature, painting. I imagine the life of a witcher must be rather more monotonous. With all due respect.
It is. Never boring, though.
I, for one, cannot fathom only ever consorting with the same creatures, day in and day out.
Got a wife?
Yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing. Just asking.
By my troth, the damned brute was sturdy. I'm grateful, Witcher. You aided me greatly. Please, you must accept this trifle as a token of my gratitude.
Why the challenge? Couldn't have gone after something less formidable? A werebub, for instance?
Why? For the beast must match in ferocity the very ardor of my affection and...
You're blushing, Sir Knight.
Oh, it's my betrothed. The thing is, she champs at the bit to get married when we've not known one another but 2 years. So I vowed to slay Grettori. Thought it would buy me time. To battle such a beast, why, it could take months.
Mm-hmm. Especially at the rate you were going. High time you returned to Beauclair, brave knight.
Nay, nay. The head of this beast is a trifle, wholly inadequate to express the love I harbor for my betrothed. The world awaits. To honor her, I should cut down another, more terrible beast.
Take my advice. Grab the damned head and cut the shit.
You're blind to my predicament. Once I return, I will have no recourse. She'll drag me to the nearest shrine, one.
Shut up and listen. Crests, scrap metal armor, swooning damsels. All that's nothing to do with hunting monsters.
Witch's work. Damn hard, dangerous, and thankless work that you're just not cut out for.
Want to prove your valor? Go back to your betrothed and be honest. Tell her you're not ready to marry.
You do not mince words, Master. In Tucson, one might demand satisfaction upon trampled ground for a lesser slight. Yet, there is truth in what you say, I cannot deny. I survived with my life by a hair. It is time I returned home.
Even if Renouet did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills, for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Right, so someone's blackmailing him. We know that. Still have no idea who. Need to look around some more. Ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much. Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Since you brought it up, the knights Detloff killed. What exactly did they do to you? Crespi, Dulac, Lacroix, Peyrac Peyran?
Not a memory I enjoy revisiting, but I suppose you deserve to know. When my parents disowned me, they ordered those very knights to escort me beyond the duchy's borders.
All did so without uttering a single word in my defense.
Like you said, they had their orders.
But Crespi was not ordered to beat me unconscious with a horsewhip after my first attempt at escape. And Ulak had no instructions to deny me food and abuse me. I learned something then. Knights are not so chivalrous when no one's watching.
That explains a lot.
Shocked, aren't you? You must have thought you had me pegged. Before bothering to hear my side. Everyone does that.
Curse of the Black Sun. That's why you were banished, right?
Twisted princesses, mutants. I'm certain you've heard of us.
Even met one of you. Renfrey of Creighton.
And? Was she truly monstrous?
She was cruel, that's certain. But what caused it? The curse or what she went through? Asking myself to this day.
You killed her, didn't you?
Had no choice.
Funny. Mum said the same when she tossed me out of the house.
Blonde curls. Rest of the body's too mutilated. Hard to say anything.
She got what she deserved, as I see it. Always took what she wanted without asking.
No being here. Gotta keep looking. Hello? Can we talk?
Watch my head! Damn it all! I swear that was the last time I drank with Redbeard. Oh, Sienna, a bloody long time it's been. You've changed.
Whereas you, not at all, big bad wolf. Though it seems you've started running with the wrong crowd.
And who should I run with, eh? Thumbelina? One shot and she's under the table. At the bed. What brings you?
You could always have a drink with us.
Oh, what now? Not on your life. I can barely stand, I'm so hungover.
You know what they say about the hair of the dog?
Out of the question. And why must you drink? Do you wish to drown some sorrow? And I don't mean to pry, but you don't look much like a young duchess to me.
They stripped me of my title and birthright, then banished me. A family spat, let's say.
Listen, looking for magic beans. Seen any?
I was given one for safekeeping, but...
Where is it? Talk!
Shh, not so loud.
Oh, I can be much louder than this. And resort to other means of persuasion.
Right there, the threats. Sienna to a T. Listen, I exist to restage a fairy tale. If you want to play at it, I'll be happy to oblige. But it won't be easy. The thing is, Little Red Riding Hoods popped her clogs.
What?
1,000 times they cut my gut open, filled it full of rocks and drowned me in the river. So once you stopped coming, I decided to repay the little imp for all her loving labor. Now also at the bottom of the well, she and the hunter, which means we can't play, and I'm under no obligation to talk to you, not about beans nor anything else. So leave me be. Sod off.
Wolf's pretty cranky.
Surprised? Think about it. He was cast in the role of the Nemesis without ever asking for it. It's a dog's life, I tell you. Well then, one step closer to our goal.
What?
Now I find myself wondering if you're just horribly discreet, or if those mutations completely scrubbed away your curiosity. Are you really not interested in what happened? In what became of me after they cast me out?
Well, since you brought it up, I'd gladly hear the rest. Let's see. They'd escorted you out of the duchy.
Yes, and the noble knights of Toussaint, I didn't stop until we reached the Ketdu wilderness. They left me there alone, without a copper. in a torn lace dress, right when the frosts were setting in. They assumed something would eat me, or that I'd do everyone a favor and die of hunger. But as always, I failed to live up to expectations. I wandered the woods for a week, went purple from the cold, gnawed the bark from twigs. Finally, I saw a light among the trees. A campsite. They were bandits, bearded, drunk, spattered with blood. I was sure they'd rape me or kill me. Or both.
Take it neither happened?
That's when I learned a robber and a murderer can be a better man than a knight in shining armor. They took me in, we set off for Nazaire, and I did what I could to repay them. I advanced in their ranks rather quickly. Eventually, I became their leader. Of the whole ragged band.
Should have stayed there, maybe.
Perhaps. Perhaps I should have forgotten everything, started a new life. But you know what? There came a point when I thought, you wanted a monster. Then a monster you shall get. So?
Got the bean, but long logs. Seems she got sick of waiting for a knight in shining armor.
Can you blame her? Men these days, dandies and fops all.
That why you cozied up to a vampire?
Detlef was a tool, and only a tool.
Too bad he didn't know that.
I trust no one. Learned that long ago. Now it's his turn.
To use him. Was that your plan from the start?
No. At first I was simply intrigued. Do you know the story? It was in Mettina, a few years past. I'd gone there to pass some loot off to a fence I know. We were hashing out the terms when in walked Detlef. He said he'd come to sell a silver candlestick. He gripped it through a cloth. That caught my eye. I followed him out, observed him from a distance, but he caught on quickly.
Yeah, superhuman senses will do that.
He turned down a blind alley. I followed. He jumped out from behind a crate, baring his teeth. I suppose he'd wanted to frighten me. Alas, he didn't in the least. After all, I'm a monster too, am I not?
A higher vampire and you were unimpressed? Don't know if that's brave or just plain foolish.
I've always had a way with ostensibly dangerous, quiet types.
That's supposed to be about me too?
Oh, bother, I hate to disappoint you, Geralt, but your belly button is not the center of the known world. Though, you do remind me of him a bit, stifling all emotions inside you, ever feigning indifference. You see, when I met Detlef, somehow I knew, call it intuition, that he meant me no harm, that he was trying to frighten me off, for he too was scared. Now do you understand?
I guess. What happened then?
We talked, then met up once, twice, 3 times. Enough that he became infatuated. I truly enjoyed it at first, but only at first. He did not love like a man, but like an animal, madly, deeply, unconditionally, wildly. To return such a feeling, anyone would be hard-pressed, let alone someone as twisted as I am.
So there came a day you just up and disappeared.
Yes, there was no other way. Let's just be friends, or I don't deserve you. He'd never have understood that sort of thing.
Remember, my dear Henrietta, despair is like a stormy sky. Sooner or later, the sun must drive away the clouds.
At least you're being honest, finally.
Lying only ever makes sense when there's a chance someone will believe you.
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was...
wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one expected Sienna to do that, persist to the end. And none of us did anything to stop her. 'Cause there was nothing we could do.
I suppose you are right. But when someone so beloved dies, one cannot help but search one's soul for blame. And even the hardiest knights grow faint-hearted then.
My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Rather not bicker about taste. Don't like to. It's neither interesting nor productive. Perhaps, just for a second, you could stop dwelling on all the wrongs folk have done you and forgive her.
Why should I?
For old time's sake. You loved each other once.
Please. I don't know who fed you that rubbish, but...
Read your governess's diary. You played together, were inseparable. Henriette'd get you into trouble sometimes, sure. But there were also times she stood up for you. When you had nightmares, only she could calm you. Time eats away at memories, distorts them. Sometimes we only remember the good. Sometimes only the bad.
If she loved me so, why did she wash her hands off me? Forget me, hmm?
Don't know. But you could just ask her instead of sending monsters after her.
There's nothing she could say to change what she did to me, to justify it.
Maybe. But there's nothing out there to justify what you did to her and all Toussaint. Yet Anna Henrietta hasn't given up on you.
Ugh. You meant what you said in the Land of a Thousand Fables. You really want a happy ending to this story, don't you? Ah, with all of us living happily ever after. Go, Witcher, or they'll give your medal to another. And that would be a shame.
Farewell, Sienna. All in all, best part of the whole ceremony? It was short.
Perhaps for you, as you ducked out early. The others are probably just getting started. The drunkenness never ends in this quaint realm.
Not so fond of Toussaint after all, are we?
Oh, this place is like a strong wine, Geralt. Good in small sips. I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like mamoons and dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. Brought quite a few books. Let me guess. Working on a new spell?
Not at all. These aren't grimoires, just pleasure reading. The name of the orchid. A widower for half a year.
Always thought you too busy to make time for something as impractical as pleasure reading.
Because I was. But now I'm not. A few weeks ago, I awoke to the realization that I know not what to do next. I have no plan. I have no goal. And you know what? I like that. Finally, I can stop thinking about politics and focus on what's important to me. Which is why I came here.
It's close.
Let's go give it a warm welcome.
Wait, take this.
A crossbow.
Won it in a card game while you ran around. Might come in handy.
How about that? Always lectured us on the evils, but you're a gambler yourself.
Stop talking. Got a griffin to kill.
To Vivian, may you find the means to aid her.
To Vivian.
When I first laid eyes on her, I finally understood what all those poems and ballads were trying to say.
Love's not poetry alone. Sometimes it's prose. Sometimes it's just plain ugly.
Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Not at all surprised. Expected she'd want to oversee this personally.
The master's eye fattens the calf. You're beginning to understand that, I see.
All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making deliveries when we talked to him. How do you know he handled the letters?
While you basked in glory and tried on new formal wear, I conducted a little investigation of my own. You'd be very proud to see how I conducted myself. I began by concocting an ample supply of boot wash for our enterprising young friend. I'd observed that among street folk, amidst their society as a whole, reciprocity takes precedence over all other codes, and thus no good deed goes unrewarded. Of course, the same holds true for malicious or destructive deeds.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
fun. Now, allow me then to point. My tracing? The painting depicts spiritual tours. The continual
Oh yes, that's the one. Good
And defiance. Seems surprised. Why?
I never would have suspected Regis to find common ground with a witcher.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
Mm-hmm. You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. Well, what might the monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. Well, what might the monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
That's no excuse. There's always a way out, another solution. Seeking help, for instance.
These other solutions often come too late.
You're well aware there are men and witches who have done worse in defense of their loved ones. Am I right, Geralt?
If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try. Guess you missed my point, Regis. I was glad to hear it's not the hooch, because I don't want to talk about what I don't want to talk about.
Oh, I understood you far better than you think. Allow me to reveal a secret. My mandrake distillate possesses no particular tongue-loosening powers. Those who drink it and talk simply have burdens they wish to lift off their shoulders. The hooch is but a convenient excuse, a cover that justifies their sudden candidness to themselves.
All right, you first. The girls quarreled today. I must note rather sadly they did not behave as befits future ladies. The incident devolved into fisticuffs. Anna Henrietta was first to strike her sister. Sienna gave back as good as she'd gotten. By the time I separated them, Anna Rietta had lost 2 teeth. She ran off to complain to her parents. His Grace the Duke refused to believe my version of events. He laid all the blame on Sienna and vowed to punish the little one harshly. Anna Rietta did her best to have her sister's sentence commuted, but the Duke and Duchess proved unbending.
Once you're labeled a black sheep, it's so hard to shed that reputation.
At times, a century is too short for 2 brothers to reconcile. One dies before things are set right. The other then brings his blood to the Peller.
And what does the Peller do?
He awaits Forefather's Eve. He mixes the blood with milk, herbs, and hen's feet. He drinks to reconcile the dead with the living.
Why help them at all? You risked a lot.
I did that. Old Miss Tamara. 3 moons passed, a fever gripped my boy. We thought he was done for. Tamara alerted, brought food and salves. We're poorer than dirt itself. She saved my boy. No 2 ways about it. Me, myself, I'd have never dared to help. But my missus told me a time of war and contempt's come, a time of folk gone wrong. We needs to repay good with good. Who stands by idly does evil as if.
Married a wise woman.
Crying shame we couldn't save Mrs. Anna in the end.
Who are these friends, if it's not a secret?
No secret. Heard of the Church of the Eternal Fire? A priest helped me contact the Redanian witch hunters. Righteous, brave men. They'll help me.
Hence the candlesticks in your room. So you believe in the eternal fire?
Once the heat of the fire has set your heart aflame, it gives you strength and leads you down the path of truth for the rest of your life. I hope it'll bless you with its warmth one day.
Thanks. Thing is, fire's tricky. It's easy to get burned.
Well, well. A witcher. Never thought the Baron would stoop to hiring a monster slayer. Though I hear you're good at tracking things down.
Desperate fathers have been known to do a lot to find their daughters.
Unexpected from a witcher. I thought your mutations cleansed you of humanity. Stripped you of emotions.
You don't need mutations to strip men of their humanity. I've seen plenty of examples. What do you see in your dreams?
I don't. It's my client who sees. My gift lies in summoning the right dreams. At times, nightmares or strong desires impose themselves on true events. It takes skill to separate seed from chaff.
Long ago, to isolate themselves from a world of beasts, humans began building cities. But since beasts prowl within stone walls as well as they do outside them, this did not allay human fears. The truth is, walls guarantee no one's safety. The place where you lock yourself in and lock all else out, that's not your home. Your home is sometimes a place you travel long and far to find. You lost something.
Come all that way to give me my medallion? Thanks. Craft Solidarity's alive and well.
But our craft's reputation is on its last legs. Folk won't easily forget that massacre.
Occupational hazard. Could have happened to any one of us. Well, what are you still doing here?
I want to chat first, then we'll see.
Take your seat.
I'll stand. Now talk. Honorton, what happened?
Come on. You know what happened. Know what they wanted to pay me for the lesson? Go on, guess.
$100.
Haha, if only. 12. Understand, pal? 12 fucking crowns. Barely covers my potion ingredients.
What did you agree to?
That several times over. But when it came time to pay up, you know the routine. Oh, good sir, me young'uns are starving. There's a war on. Gods have mercy. Show some pity.
Rings a bell, but that's no reason to kill.
I'm not finished. Told them I wouldn't show pity. That if I didn't see gold, they'd wish they had the lesson back. They got these grim looks. Then the alderman spoke. Calm now, Master Witcher. Me and the lads, we hid some gold in the barn, so's the Baron's men wouldn't take it. Come, you'll get your coin right quick. I fell for it, like a fool. One of them chattered on while another jabbed me in the back with a pitchfork.
So you decided to massacre the whole village?
What would you have done? Gone to the local magistrate to file a complaint? I admit, I lost my temper. Lost it bad. I'm used to shit bounties, to the cheating, to then begging me for help and then spitting as I pass. But murder me? Just to save a few crowns? I'm supposed to protect Horsens like that? So I drew steel, and didn't sheathe it till the ground was slick with blood.
The girl. Why'd you spare her?
'Cause... it doesn't matter.
Wouldn't have asked if it didn't talk.
Reminded me of my sister. How I remember her from just before they took me away to the School of the Cat.
How is she now?
Died about 10 years ago. Of old age. Well, we've had our little heart-to-heart. Witcher to Witcher. What now?
Ultimately, it's not my job to judge you.
That's it? Not gonna lecture me? Make me promise to mend my ways?
They call me the Butcher of Blaviken, for good reason. I know how it is. Sometimes heads just roll.
Wait. I'm no cheap prick like those hayseeds. I owe you something. Here, directions to my stash. Take what you want.
Thanks.
No, thank you. Good luck on the path, Wolf.
Uh-oh. Got yourselves a prisoner.
We don't take prisoners. You took my weapon, Roach. So I must manage with my bare hands.
Leave him alone. There are corpses enough here.
What?
You heard me.
I did, and I can't believe it. He came here to murder civilians. He's seen us. Will you have him return to his camp and report?
Emir knows we can kill his men. Let him learn that we can also show mercy.
Dudu, tell me. The halfling Biberveld goes from being a prosperous merchant to being a pauper. How?
Prefer the long version or the short?
Short, please.
The war.
I was under the impression merchants grow fat on wars.
Some do, but I've a serious personality flaw. I'm honest. I could not reap profits from the suffering of others. I paid taxes. I never cooked my books. And then a ship full of my goods sank. I pulled through somehow, but then a second fell prey to Skelligan raiders, rendering me insolvent. When inflation hit and interest rates rose, I, at long last, fell.
Take care of yourself, Dudu.
Oh, those bigots haven't the cunning to strip me of this mask.
What's in your hide? Beheading a king.
Whoa! What the devil's this? Get out of my house!
Watch it, and leave the woman alone.
What the... She's my betrothed.
But I'm not your property.
I love her. I'll not let her sway her ass in his brothel.
Whoa, slow down there a minute. This is clearly one gigantic misunderstanding. One I can clear up in the blink of an eye.
Shove your excuses up your ass. Sod off, or I'll split your skull.
My friend asked you nicely, so please be courteous in return and hear him out, or we'll settle this another way.
All right, talk.
Hubio, right? Polly's told me so much about you. She said you're erudite and have an open mind.
You said that? Well, there's a truth to it. My mind's the open salt, but its open saltedness ends when my betrothed starts wagging her ass around brothels. Get out of here, both of yous. Polly's not going anywhere.
Let him finish. There's no brothel involved.
You see, friend, Geralt just hit the nail on the head. For what you have there is the old publicity placard.
Old?
Very. From a time when my establishment was under different management. I, however, would never let any indecency take place in my cabaret. My very reputation precludes it.
So, what's all this about?
Your betrothed is a first-class artiste, and I want to offer her a position worthy of her talents. She's to be my choreographer, and that in turn means she'll receive a share of the proceeds from every performance she choreographs.
You mean to say coin?
And fame. No flirting required. You have my word.
Suppose, in that case...
I knew you'd agree.
It's settled then. See you at the Rosemary, Polly.
Well, I'm off.
I'll catch up to you. Whew. Never expected that to go so well.
You handled it well, Dandelion. Man was body in your hands once you called him erudite.
In negotiation, as in combat, the key is to find your opponent's weak spot and exploit it to the hilt.
Hubert told me about your past, even more vivid than I'd assumed.
I've not time for riddles, Geralt. Be straight or be gone.
Any truth to his claim that people died during the riots at the university? Died for your cause?
I was young and stupid. I thought a better future was worth any price. Even a human life or two. But those are past sins. Sins I've atoned for.
These murders. Got any suspects?
No, Geralt. Though all in all I should have.
What do you mean?
By virtue of my profession, I know Novigrad's underworld better than most. Dozens of mercenaries, racketeers, bandits, and hired assassins have had their turn on my operating table. Rogues, one and all. But I believe even they could not kill in this manner. So horribly cruel, yet cold, methodical, with absolute precision. Concluding this overlong explanation, I've no notion who's behind it, but I fear them like hell.
Run out of formaldehyde.
I underestimated you. You almost caught me in flagrante delicto. Now you've seen through my bluff with Nathaniel. Although, you've not divined all, I see. Had you, you would have drawn your silver sword.
What are you?
A vampire. Higher, of course.
Got a reason for killing? A reason to torture?
I thought you'd figure that out as well. The symbolism's rather obvious. Coals for those who are blind to the fire. The egg of a salamander born of fire to replace their cold, doubting hearts. Fire down the throat that...
Yeah, symbolism's clear. What's not is why a vampire would kill in the name of the eternal fire.
Should be equally obvious. I concur with the Church's diagnosis. Novigrad is a fallen city. Its population amnesiacs to the very concepts of decency and morality. So I decided to remind them, in a manner they'd be certain to notice.
Tortured logic.
Yet logic, nonetheless. I'm glad you perceived that, at least. Fight fire with fire, as they say. Give a thought to my victims. A lecherous woodcarver who'd spend his last copper on whores. An old countess who defiled symbols of the faith. A Trebirates for whom nothing was sacred, nothing above ridicule. They did not deserve to live. But their deaths could be a lesson to others. Awaken them Scare them onto the correct path, the path to the fire, to cleansing, to salvation. For you, I'm afraid it's too late. You are a man of little faith. I sense this.
But I'm pretty good with a sword. Found and killed the murderer. It was Hubert. You were right not to trust him. He was a higher vampire.
I thought nothing could surprise me in Novigrad. Seems I was wrong. Deeply wrong. Thank you, Geralt. Were it not for you, this would never have ceased.
Farewell. How's...
Better, right?
Yes.
Did you take care of what I asked?
Yeah. The Witcher's way.
Thank you, Geralt. From me and Priscilla.
Don't like funerals. Don't like feasts.
I know. You also dislike underdone meat and being teleported. But sometimes we must overcome our disgusts and prevail.
What's wrong with voting for your king?
Take a walk. Listen and you'll understand. The claimants already hand out land, promise privileges, titles, favourable judgments. They behave like whores lifting their skirts for every passerby. A king by the grace of votes is no ruler, but a debtor. This must end. We must start by placing Bran's firstborn son on the throne. I hope the Jarls will see the wisdom of it.
May I?
You must, even. Come. I've been waiting for you. So, feast to your liking? Any better than your continental balls?
Definitely more to drink.
Ah, there is. Rolled all of it out of my cellars. Double meads, triple, Cintrian plum brandy, a Hackamum spirit that burns the mouth like boiling water. Clan on Crate knows the meaning of hospitality.
Something tells me there's a purpose to your hospitality.
Aye, there is. In the Isles, mead and meat stand to gain you as much support as feats accomplished blade in hand.
If that's true, you can rest easy about how the vote will turn out.
I'll rest easy on the morrow, when the crown rests on one of my children's heads.
Feeling torn between Hjalmar and Ceres?
You mean do I have a favorite? Nay. They're as different as fire and water. But on Crate blood flows in both.
Think the Council of Jarls will dare to put a woman on the throne?
If you'd asked me some months ago, I'd have laughed in your face. But today I see, and I'm not alone, that Ceres has something as rare on the Isles as a hot summer. Patience. Others act, then think. She's different. She thinks things through, the for, the against. But once she takes action, not a force in the world could stop her.
Why are you even interested? Djinns are dangerous sometimes, and malicious all the time.
I remember. But the advantages outweigh the risks. If I can tame a Djinn, I shall gain incredible power. And that could be useful to us one of these days.
Not sure this Djinn thing's a good idea.
We managed to seize one before, do you remember?
Of course. Dandelion almost lost his voice that time.
How lucky your exorcism saved it. It was poetic.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know that incantation meant begone and plow yourself?
You should have studied foreign languages.
Gonna keep bringing that up for the rest of my life.
Of course. Your last wish effectively assured it.
My wish was about us being together always, not about you mocking my every mistake.
Careful what you wish for. And when your wish is granted, you must accept it with all attendant circumstances.
Yeah.
And as for your missteps, I don't rightly see why I shouldn't laugh if they're amusing.
Nice job decorating your guard post.
By orders of our gracious and merciful ruler, the good king.
What was their crime?
One on the right's a peller from a village nearby. Gave some bloke the wrong advice. Bloke's mates informed on him. Neighbour held a grudge against the one on the left. Accused him of witchcraft.
Just humans at each other's throats. That's not Radovid's fault.
Who do you think set down the laws that mean folk hanged for such offences?
Seem to have lost all respect for the king. Why serve him?
What am I to do? I was born a Redanian. I won't desert. Besides, I enlisted when Vizimir was still on the throne. Now that was a good king. Wise and just. Radovid's something else. He's got war on the brain. And I don't want Redania to look anything like that.
Finally. Took you a while.
Saddle kept sliding.
Not a crappy show dancer out there who doesn't blame her shoes. Ciri's most important in all of this. The hunt's after her, and we have to defend her at all costs.
What do I do?
Stay inside the keep. If they break through, come inside. We'll all converge to help you.
Out of the question. I can look after myself.
No one doubts that, child. But remember the most important moment when hunting a monster?
Wait for an opportunity.
A seasoned player, I see. Congratulations. As your prize, I shall reveal to you my foolproof method for cutting through this bureaucracy. Nothing ever comes of using the normal channels. I have seen them try everything. Magic, hypnosis, bribery. Nothing works.
Might as well go if nothing works. There's nothing I can do.
Be kind. Be pleasant. This and only this. The woman here, she sits at her window 12 hours each day without hearing so much as a good day from anyone. But muster up some flowers, some perfume. Well, you will resolve your matter lickety-split.
Right. Certainly worth a shot.
Good luck.
Welcome to Chanfanelli Bank, where we look after your coin as if it were our own, etc., etc. How can I help you, sir?
Need Form 202 to get a copy of Permit A38. Do you know that? Couldn't have told me? Wasted a lot of time because of you.
Please, sir. There's no need to lose your temper. I thought it obvious and thus needed no stating. The form will soon be ready. Name and surname?
Geralt of Rivia.
Let me find it. Gedon, Gemel. Here it is. Geralt of Rivia. Sorry, sir, I cannot issue Form 202.
Excuse me?
The applicant in question has been declared dead, officially. Now, do tell me, sir, how am I to enter that into the ledger?
Got you some flowers, just to thank you for helping me with my file.
Oh, but I shouldn't. For me? Really?
Match the color of your eyes.
Oh, right. You, sir, are quite the charmer. Ah, please, wait a moment. I shall fetch Master Cinfanelli. Perhaps he'll arrange something that excludes the paperwork.
Open the unbeliever's eyes.
Now bring us some thick pudding and bring it right here.
One, two, three, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ask the witcher. Are you not? Would you care to challenge still waters?
Here is such that one is never hungover.
Shall you face off against still waters? Shall you? Shall you?
Like to know who I'm punching. This knight won't reveal his name or face. Won't say anything at all, not a word.
Rein in your curiosity, sir. A knightly vow is no idle promise. Still waters shall conceal both face and crest until such time as one defeats him. So, will you fight or not?
I challenge you to a duel.
Noble lords and virtuous ladies, another fight is soon to begin.
Shut up and fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Witcher defeats the previously invincible still waters. And what about it was? Freed of his vow, the knight can now show his face.
Your blows are strong and true. My congratulations.
Thanks.
Have you naught to add? I'm a woman. No wry remarks?
What for? It's the 13th century. Nothing peculiar about it. Women own taverns, run farms, and fight.
Will you not claim there was no honor in fighting a wench?
No. I'd expect to hear that from someone who was afraid to lose to a woman.
Witcher.
Lady Vivian? Counted on me getting lost.
I did. I thought you no different from the knights. Good at tourneys, hopeless in the face of true danger. I was mistaken.
So you're not. Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
Release him. Now.
I thought it would take you longer.
It will. Still not done. Got one more thing to tend to. You. The orphanage. Your wine cellar, right? A larder for blood.
I never said I helped these children out of the kindness of my heart.
Go outside, little man, and lock the door behind you.
No, don't hurt her. Lady Oriana took care of us. She took us off the street, brought us sweets, sang to us. Leave her be.
You see, Witcher, the world's not black and white. It's shades of all kinds. I drank from the children, true, but never so much as to kill. And I gave them a great deal in return.
Expect me to thank you for taking such good care of the orphans?
You have exceptional friends. This Detlef, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Being a witcher anything like you imagined?
Geralt, I didn't have to imagine anything. Remember, before we parted, we walked a good stretch of the path together.
Journeyman and master, though, not the same thing.
I'm still a long way from mastering anything, but I am trying. Anyway, I did learn from the best.
Just passed on what worked for me, or at least tried to.
I was thinking of Eskel and Lambert.
So, no regrets? Choice you made?
Not at all. I'm doing what I ever wanted to do. Being who I wanted to be. I believe that's one definition of happiness.
Encountered the most charming aspect of being a Witcher yet?
Which aspect is that?
The hatred, disgust, that strange blend of admiration, fear, and contempt.
They set their hounds on me in one village. In another, they forbade me from taking a drink from their well. Other than that, it's been all right. No one's tried to cheat me out of my reward so far.
I'd hoped they'd treat a woman differently.
Geralt, when they treat a woman differently in this world, it hardly ever means better. Quite the opposite. By the fire, I'd like nothing better. I can't. I must try. For you, Yen, Triss, for everyone. Keep your fingers crossed.
enemy's eye. Ought to use it.
Who are you?
You know who I am, and why I'm here.
I do. You needn't. I'm no longer a threat. I starve, for the swamp is poisoned. I've no strength to hunt humans.
Crone summon you?
In my sleep. Once I had wolf dreams. Now I dream hunger, pain, and blood.
Where is she?
Out there, in the swamp. Is there no other way?
There's one. Find the crone. Guide me through the swamp to her.
And then?
Then we'll see.
Ah, the crone, what's she done to you?
Stole my daughter's medallion.
If I may, why risk it? The crone will fight. Like a hounded wolverine, she'll fight. She may cripple, even kill you. Find the girl a new pendant. Her sorrow will pass in time.
No, it won't. My daughter's dead. Go. What's your name, werewolf?
Barum.
Lead me to the crone, Barum.
There's a wolf den nearby. Wolf cubs inside. Carry them out of the swamp. They'll not survive here, or they'll change into something evil. I sense a wolf. And men.
How many?
10, no more.
Stay out of it. What are you doing here?
The she-wolf's been on the hunt the last few days. Killed a cow, wounded a man, so we set some traps. Stupid beast walked straight into one. Once she tires, we'll set the hounds on her. How there's a wolf baiting.
What happened to your ear?
Why does it matter? None of your ploughing concern.
Where's the crone?
Sod off. Your kind's not welcome. Leave our lands.
Not just yet. Soon. First the crone.
You're 1. We're 10. We've got hounds. Want to end like the she-wolf? We'll flay you alive, you wretch! All together!
One cub lives.
Come on, no time for that.
Won't survive on its own.
Lead me to the crone.
She's close. Somewhere here.
Go back to your wolf dreams, Barum. Save the cub. Go away, far away. Find yourself a comely wife wolf and live.
Let me help you.
No.
Remember, like a hounded wolverine she'll fight. She could kill you.
I know. Now go.
Patience, sisters. I sense him. He comes. You shall yet have his soul. His pain, his icy suffering will be yours, and you will feast on him. Soul, sisters. Very soon.
Come out.
I sense your pain. I see your fear. Look about you. Feel their hatred. You slaughtered them with a circle of coin. They would see you suffer while you've lost your claws now. The prophecies do not lie. You cannot survive this struggle. Tyrell is dead. Naught but a small frozen corpse in an icy wilderness. And you are afraid. You feel fear.
You lie. I don't feel a thing anymore.
You changed. You suffer. I know the smell of soul's breath. Demons do not lie. That little whore. She's my sisters. I know. It's your Despair devours you like maggots devour a hawk. devours you like maggots devour a corpse. Your flesh cured with toxins, sweet with pain.
You must die.
Stay out of it.
You've changed. You suffer. You seek death, I feel it. I know the smell of a suicide's breath. The omens do not lie. That little whore, her cursed blood. She slew my sisters. I am alone. 'Tis your doing. Despair devours you like maggots devour a corpse. Your flesh cured with toxins, sweet with pain. Suffer too. You wish to die, Witcher. You wish your suffering to end.
cold.
Hey! Bloody hell! Ow! Plowing ear pits! Help me!
Greetings.
Right, Frickens. It's you. What's wrong at home?
To think the nag would know me after all these years. They're smart, grow attached, a bit like people. Saw officers weep for their fallen mounts, though wailing women and crying babes didn't move them one bit.
Which side do you fight for?
Like most, my own. Fought to stay alive. Dying's all the same. Dirt and shite, be it under the Redanian eagle or the Imperial sun. No glory in it.
Been away long?
A year. Not quite. But it feels like more, let me tell you.
They force you to join?
Nah, I was eager to fight. Thought I'd bring home more than just the scars on my back. Did see a chunk of the world, though. Some mammoth battles, a few famous generals from afar, and lots of horses. Didn't see the Emperor take Novigrad, but I don't regret it. Beautiful city. But I wonder what awaits me back home.
Glad to see the horses in good hands.
The best. His owners. Do you miss me, Golden, huh? Do you miss me?
I'd say he did. Bolted off soon as he sensed you. Toppled anyone in his way.
Do you mark anyone calling after him? Ploughing armpits or some such? But one man here curses so odd, my neighbour, Mirko. Gave him Golden to care for when I left. Ought to go see him, must be worried. Here. Token of my appreciation for running after Golden, to see he was all right.
Take it easy.
She's gone.
Mad she had to wait.
No, eager to roam the fields. Prepared the cover scents and oiled the jaw traps all by herself.
Make a good hunter, wouldn't she?
Nah, too impatient, that one. Probably snatching rabbits barehanded, putting them in the traps because they're too slow to step in themselves.
Where'd she go?
Not far. Over yonder.
Farewell.
Greetings.
Hey there.
Not up to hunting rabbits anymore?
Not really.
What now?
Nothing. Just sitting, waiting for you. It's nice here.
I'll wait till you see Dol Blethana in winter, and the Blue Mountains. We'll head east soon as the snow melts. Think we might have settled in a bit too much.
You promised to show me that griffin's nest before we left. Let's go now.
You actually interested?
Absolutely. You said it yourself. A royal griffin's a rare sight.
Not that rare. Venture to say we'll have to slay a couple more before we get back to Kaer Morhen. But if you want to see the nest, it's just up the hill.
Come.
We were supposed to train today.
Huh?
Tomorrow at sunup then? Work you hard like I did in the good old days. Probably been a while since anyone showed you just how much you still have to learn. Almost there.
It's cold.
Old tracks, but... bad luck. Careful now.
This is no time for you to lecture me.
Ciri, wait. There's something in the...
We really don't need to play hare and hounds.
Ciri!
What?
A hair faster. That's all it needed to be to rip your shoulder wide open.
But it wasn't, and it didn't. We killed it. What is this about?
You're angry, wanted to unload. But be that careless and next time.
Don't you understand? There won't be a next time.
Ciri, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, it's not a good time.
Want to head back? All right, enough. Let's go fishing. We bring Dandelion a nice fat perch and he just might forget about the rabbit stew. Shame he didn't come along. He could use a bit of exertion.
Huh.
Ice shouldn't be too thick here.
Uh-huh. How exactly do you plan to catch anything?
You'll see. I'll be damned.
Should we go?
No, no way. Lake's gotta be full of perch, bream, or pollard. Fresh pollard. Would you like that?
I wouldn't mind some, but do we plan to wait here until he leaves?
No, we'll scare him off.
How?
I'll improvise. Wait here. An old witcher's trick for tough winters. Not terribly subtle, but...
Effective.
Remember, don't ever do this.
Why show it to me at all, then?
Just in case. Never know what could happen on the path, what could save your life. Let's go.
Who taught you that?
Vesemir. A long time ago.
How long?
Very. Back when I wanted to call myself Geralt Roger Eric Duote Pelagarcy.
What?
Tell you about it tonight.
And about the time you broke your leg after wagering you jump off the roof of Kaer Morhen and land a horse's back?
How do you even know about that?
Eskel told me. But I want to hear you tell it. I'm certain you have a rational explanation. You never gave me piggyback rides at Kaer Morhen, remember? Vesemir was the only one willing.
Had to wait till now to remind me? You've put on some weight since Kaer Morhen. Hey. Ciri.
We should get back. Remember me training on the pendulum? How I feared I'd never manage. Yet you forbade me from giving up. I was black and blue practically all the time. That pendulum was a nightmare.
How can I forget?
Those months at Kaer Morhen, they passed so quickly. I wish we'd spent more time together then. Almost managed to forget it was today. They're here for me, Geralt. I'm going to Nilfgaard, to Emir. I know you didn't expect this, but in Vizima, my father and I spoke for long. Argued, really, and parted. Then a messenger came with a letter. I didn't say anything at first because I wasn't sure, and then I realized I had to stop fleeing. I realized that if I wish to change anything, I cannot do so hunting monsters round forgotten villages. I must do so from there, from Nilfgaard.
You could have told me, warned me.
I wanted to, but I didn't know how. I've been happy here. I was afraid I'd ruin it. I wanted to make every minute count.
So, back at the nest, I was about this. I didn't pry, didn't want to force you to tell me. Thought we had time. A lot more time. You make this choice on your own?
If you mean to suggest Yennefer had anything to do with this, then the answer is no.
Great. She even know?
No. And I'd prefer she not get involved this time.
I'll let you tell her that. Is this what you want?
Yes. You're not trying to stop me. Take me to the Blue Mountains by force.
Traveled half the world to find you, but I never intended to force anything on you.
I know.
You'll be fine. You're a witcher.
We needn't say goodbye.
Of course we don't.
I don't know when we'll see each other again.
You know where to find me.
You can't possibly stay at Kaer Morhen all the time.
Makes no difference. You'll find me.
True.
Remember what I taught you. Never know. Could be useful there too.